What's going on YouTube? Joe Miner 3131 back again with JS Miner 87 here on the DFS Quarry channel on YouTube. About to break down the 4-game main slate here for Wednesday, February 20th, 2019. Again, 4 games. That's all we're talking about. Before we get started, if you like the video, click on that thumbs up. We sure do appreciate that. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We put out a video for each and every possible main slate we can. Anyway, we're pretty consistent. We don't get every day, but we're pretty consistent. We do also have a Slack channel if you want to get involved in that. I need your email address. Did get a comment yesterday. Alabama Jones, I did send out your invite for the Slack channel. You left it in the comments below. Sent that out to you today. So hopefully you get joined in there and get rocking and rolling in the Slack channel. If you don't want to let your email address in the comments, go ahead. Hit me up at DFS Quarry on the Twitter machine. Send me a PM. Let me your email address. We'll send the invite out that way and get you rocking and rolling just as soon as we can. So, with that being said, Jared, 4 games. You want to jump right into it? I got a pretty early day tomorrow. I'm going to try to beat the weather we got coming. I don't know if I'm going to beat the travel bans on the interstate, to be honest with you. Seen some of them are supposed to start at 6 a.m. here Eastern time.
Well, I hope to make it to my big commute of 20 minutes tomorrow to work. About all I got, but yeah, let's certainly talk into it. We certainly can't do a big review of how we're doing tonight. Still early on action, and at least I'm still in the money, so there's some light here.
That's right. As long as you still got a chance at the end of the game when the last game starts, at least you got a chance, man. So you're telling me there's a chance. So that being said, we'll jump right into it. Like I said, there's only 4 games here. Couple interesting ones, couple not so interesting ones, but either way, let's get started. First game up on the slate. Chicago Blackhawks heading into Detroit, take on the Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings, surprisingly, in this one is a -115 home favorite, over under of 6.5 in this game. And they're projecting Cam Ward and Jimmy Howard. So we'll have to see how that goes, whether it's Cam Ward or Colin Delia. And I also heard reports that Corey Crawford is close to coming back. So, Jared, go ahead. Start us off here with Chicago-Detroit.
All right, yeah, I went right here to my screen share, so hopefully it's up and running here. Just a few stats as of I think it was 2 days ago. These are so fairly recent numbers. I'll probably do new numbers here tomorrow to get full refresh data here. So home team stats here. We got Detroit. Certainly we can go down here near the bottom. 12, 14, and 4. They got 2.8 goals for, 2.9 against. Near the bottom of the league, both, and this is the power play numbers and the penalty kill rank. So they rank 28th in both special teams on the year. Looking at road stats, certainly Chicago, 11, 15, and 3 on the road, still scoring 3.3 goals for a game, giving up 3.9. You see here, dead last in the league in penalty kill on the road here. So let's go take a look here power play wise. We'll go over here Detroit. 4 goals for on 38 shots on the power play in the past 10 games. Like I said, this is as of 2 days ago, but this is probably accurate data for Detroit. I don't think they've played since. Even strength, Detroit, 278 shots for, 268 shots against, 21 goals for, and 24 goals for against on the even strength here. Penalty kill, 61 chances against and 33 shots against. So fairly good numbers here from the Detroit side on penalty kill as of the past 10 games. Looking at Chicago here, 81 chances against on their penalty kill, 52 shots against. Giving up 8 goals here in the past 10, with Detroit giving up 5. So a little bit of numbers here from each side. Let's go into the player side of things here. And another thing I note, I was looking at hockey line production in particular, see what 10 we can get here. DeBrincat, Strome, and Cahoon are the 3. It's number 3 in goals for in the past 10 games. That being said, this is pretty impressive. 10 goals for that line and 5 goals against in the past 10 games. So they are in play here. So let's go over here. Like I said, that's line 2 here. DeBrincat, Strome, and Cahoon. I still think that's going to be in play tomorrow. I still think everyone spends more of their effort trying to stop this Kane, Taves, Caggiula line. I'm not going to steer away from Kane as well. I think he's at 16, 17 game point. I think 17 games now on his point streak. He's in play. He's in play for sure. And on this 4-game slate, I think he's going to be high chalk. Taves will be high chalk as well. But this second line, you might get a little bit of differentiation, but maybe not much. Brandon Saad on this third line. I still like that production for that price at 4,900 as well. Looking down here, I've played Keith past couple games, I think even. He had me 2 assists and I believe a shot on goal last game for a 4.5 in that goal fest. So Duncan Keith and heck, even Seabrook. I like both of these guys here as well. Gustafsson, 5,700, a little bit pricey, but still in play. These guys are scoring at will. I think it's, what is it now? I think it's been like 11 or 12 of like 15 games. They've scored 3+ goals or 4+ goals. So these guys are scoring here, and that puts a lot of these guys in play. Cam Ward, I do have a little bit of interest here in Cam Ward here. I'm going to keep him on the slate here in a 4-game slate. Going over here, I really don't understand some of these Vegas lines here. Detroit with a 115 favorite. Maybe they got some number stats that draw that conclusion. But for me, I think Chicago is the favorite in this one. But Larkin, Mantha, Bertuzzi here. Really, it's Larkin, Mantha just for the chance here. That's the upside, seeing that these guys do shoot a lot. And like I said, seeing that Chicago is the worst on the road here, I think if you do want to play a Detroit stack here, I think you got to look at this first power play unit. They have produced in the past 5 games with Vanek, Clark, and Mantha getting points there. So there's where your play's going to be. I wouldn't do a line combination more so. I mean, Lark and Mantha do have line correlation on that first line. But if you want a third guy here, I'd make sure he's on this first power play. So that being said, when you look at defensively here, I'm probably going to just aim for Cronwall on the defensive side of things just for that power play upside, or even Mike Green on the second power play because, like I said, dead last in the league. If they draw a penalty here, they are likely to score here. So I'm going to steer away from Detroit's goalie. And let's just be 1 second here quick before I turn it over. Yeah, their penalty kill is 70% on the year. 70%. So, yeah, I think that's going to be risky on a Detroit team that's certainly capable of scoring. And like I said, they have scored in that past 10 on the power play. So what do you like, Joe?
I tell you what, the way I look at it here, man, I'm not going to play any Detroit. I'm not going to talk on them. I'm not even going to talk about them. Everything Jared said about them is about all you need to know. I'll just tell you I'm not going to go with them. I do, however, like the Chicago side here. I like both the top 2 lines, certainly, with Caggiula, Jonathan Taves, and Patrick Kane. I think Patrick Kane is almost a must play on this slate, even at the 8K price tag. He's got points in 17 or 18 in a row. I think he has personal best is points in 26 games in a row. So I look for him to take that down anyway. I'm going to stay on board Patrick Kane here. The second line, like Jared said, with Alex DeBrincat, Dylan Strome, and Dominic Cahoon, it's a great line. Strome and DeBrincat are great together as a pairing, and DeBrincat is really putting it on here lately, man. He is he's playing out of his mind. He's worth the 6,800 price tag, so I do like the second line as well. Jared mentioned Saad. I do like Saad as well there. That'd be it for me, though. Really, I want to try to power stack these guys or load up on them. I can easily see me running a lineup with Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Alex DeBrincat, and Dylan Strome all in the same lineup, all 4 guys together. I don't want any Cam Ward, however. Jared mentioned them. And like I said, I'm not going to play any Detroit, but just to mention them, if I were to play Detroit, it would be Dylan Larkin and Anthony Mantha, I suppose. It'd be Dylan Larkin probably, and Mantha, and that would probably be it for me. Athanasiou on the third line, if you want to take a shot there at 5,600, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's it for me. Cronwall's a price play at 2,900. That wouldn't be too bad either. Philippe Hronek, if they keep him up at 2,800. But again, I think you can go ahead and fade Detroit here and easily get away with it, not let it hurt you. Next game up on the slate, Winnipeg Jets heading into Colorado to take on the Colorado Avalanche. Winnipeg will be a -121 visiting favorite. Over-under of 6.5 in this game. And projected, we got Connor Hellebuck and Semyon Varlamov. Jared.
All right, guys. Let's just certainly we've seen some good a good performance out of Colorado here. Look at where they've come. They're down here 29th on home ice, 10-12-5. They're getting about 4 power play chances a game, converting at 16th best in the league. But look at this, worst penalty kill in the league here, 70%, around 71% on home ice. So I think that's going to be where your struggle is. You look here, Winnipeg, 18th in the league on the road, 15-12 and 0. Not scoring as much as we'd like, only about 3 goals a game, 2.9. Drawing some power plays here, 3.1. That's a fair spot, which means I'm going to look for that Winnipeg power play unit here. 22nd conversion rate in the league. Let's check where they've been the past 10. Winnipeg here, looks like we've got 5 goals for here on 46 shots in the past 10 games. You know, obviously I wish it was a little bit more here on goals here, and certainly wish there was a little more high danger chances here. Only 9 high danger chances here. All that's telling me is if I do a stack, I don't think I want to put all my eggs in that basket there. I might just do 2 here rather than a full-on board stack here. Penalty kill here, you do see Colorado has given up 107 there, 58 shots against on the penalty kill, and given up 9 goals against here. Certainly that's a weakness for them. So let's go over here. And like I said, this is even strength hockey going back here. Right behind that third line in Chicago we talked about is 4th. Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler. 9 goals for, 7 goals against, however, here. Looking at this on 5-on-5 hockey. So, you know, whatever line pairs up against this first line will have some upside. So could this be a game stack at a 6.5 over-under? I think it can. I don't think you can do 2 first lines, obviously, at this price. But you can certainly look for that first and maybe a third line on the Colorado side or something, maybe that Nieto that we'll talk about. But like I said, Connor, Scheifele, Wheeler, and you go down here, like I said, let's look at this power play. Here you got Connor, Scheifele, Wheeler. Easy play here, guys. And that's all I want. Line A shouldn't even be 6,000 here at this point. 1 assist, 11 shots. He should be more so at 5,400. And I don't think there's a light at the end of the tunnel here for him scoring. I really don't. That ship has sailed for me. Trouba here at 6K. I think he's a little too much here for a defenseman here. If I'd like any defenseman, I think I'm going Josh Morrissey. And I think he does get, yeah, he's on that second power play line. So Although you see here a lot of zeros here in the past 5 games, when you look at power play units, power play points here, I think that's going to change tomorrow. So I don't mind taking a chance this first power play unit. My goalie here is not going to come from this game. So let's flip the script. Like I said, I think you can see some upside here on this first line. I would think that it's going to be Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen going up against that first line of Winnipeg. So that does leave a little bit of potential here. So I think Landeskog, McKinnon got on the scoreboard there last game against Vegas. McKinnon, I know, did. They had a couple. The one guy's name, Augustino here, had a goal and an assist against Vegas at 2,700. So keep an eye on him for a little one-off. Usually a guy like that, that's a big confidence booster. When you're just playing a little bit and you get that first little bit of time, usually that's a jump starter. If anything, it's a jump starter for him to shoot 3 or 4 shots tomorrow and get you that 2 points or so. But like I said, I'm not heavy on Colorado. These guys are probably in play looking at what Winnipeg's given up lately. The third line, like you said, Nieto had an assist, I believe, last game. Calvert, Soderberg. I like where they are here. For a third line, they all do get a decent amount of shots here. 13 with Calvert, 17 with Soderberg, and 9 with Nieto. This is a fair third line price tag here. And like I said, the minutes don't even scare me when you look at the time on ice per game. 15 minutes and 18 minutes. A lot of line shuffling going on that they get a little extra time for a third line. Going down here defensively, Tyson Barrie had like 6 shots last game here. So 5,100, Tyson Barrie still on my list, and I'll still take a shot on him. And like I said, no goalie for me in this game. Take it away, Joe.
Again, I don't have a whole lot to add, man, to be honest with you. I'm on the Winnipeg side here as well. I like that top line of Cal Connor, Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler. That's where I'll be. I do like Roslovic and Brian Little off the second line a little bit. But I'll take a shot on Patrick Laine. I got too much invested not to. He's going to break out here, hopefully, eventually, and hopefully I have him when he does break out. But really, the interest is in that top line only. For me, defensively, I do like the Josh Morrissey call. I end up playing him a good bit. I don't even mind Tyler Myers at 4,700. That's a decent play if you're looking to save some money. I don't want to play Hellebuck here either. I don't want the goalie from the Colorado side, Varlamov. Again, I'm on the Winnipeg side here. I don't know if I'll end up with any kind of a stack at all from Colorado. If I do play any Colorado, it's going to be the top line. I'll run all 3 of them together, Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen. Their price is down somewhat compared to what we've seen earlier on this year. McKinnon and Landeskog are still shooting a puck a ton. Rantanen isn't. But you can look for that to turn around. They're a good line. They have potential to score goals here against the Scheifele line as well. And being at home, they have a chance to control who McKinnon's line is going to face off against. So I do like Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen together. That would be it for me offensively. I wouldn't go anywhere else. But again, I'm not really on Colorado all that much here tomorrow. Defensively, Eric Johnson, I like that at 4,200. Tyson Barrie at 5,100 is an okay play. And like I said, no goalies. Jared, I'll agree with you on that part of it. I don't want any goalie here either. Next game up on the slate, we got the New York Islanders heading into Calgary to take on the Calgary Flames. Flames are going to be a -157 home favorite here, over under of 6 in this game. We should see Robin Lehner and I seen David Riddick projected, but that was like a 4-week projection. So pay attention here. We could easily see Mike Smith. Jared, what do you like here?
Well, before diving into this, breaking news here, courtesy of Kevin there in the chat. Connor McDavid ruled out, so no alarm bells. Doesn't seem long-term, some illness there, but thanks to Kevin, as I just swapped out, and the only option I had to go to was Nugent Hopkins because I didn't have utility slots. So, Nugent Hopkins, I hope you do well tonight. So let's go here. This game here, certainly, let's look. Calgary, red hot. Islanders, red hot as well. Looking at even strength here, guys. This is where I keep my records. Calgary, 5-3-2 in the past 10. And then we have down here, we might look for the Islanders, 6-2-2 in the past 10 games. So Islanders, certainly are not a very good offensively team, but I think tomorrow against Calgary's goaltending, I think we'll see some action here. Looking here, usually it's this first and second line is where the production comes from, what production you can see. Like you said, you look at these top five, these last 5 games for these guys, you know, 1 goal here, 1 goal here, 1 goal here, 1 goal there, 2 goals there. It's not overwhelming DFS production, not even shot-wise. It'd be one thing to see like 1 goal, 3 assists, and 20-some shots like a Cam Atkinson production here, but you're not. So, you know, really what I would suggest here, let's just take a look here for the sake of argument. Islanders here for the past 10 games here, even strength. You can see Martin Cizikas and Clutterbuck. That actual fourth line has been the most goals for. Looks like 2 goals for, 2 goals against when you're looking at Beauvillier, Bailey, and Barzal. So let's look and see where they got that at. There's Barzal. There's Bailey. Beauvillier they have on this third line here now, and Kuhnhackl moved up. I would still actually look to do Beauvillier, Barzal, Bailey. I don't think that they would particularly not run that line during the game at all tomorrow. So Beauvillier, Barzal, Bailey, there's a nice shot, and that's where I would be. Certainly you can look at, you know, Eberle, Lee, Nelson here. These guys are going to be nice cost relief a little bit. For being first line minutes, it is a nice price tag if you wanted to go with that first line. I'm going to have to look at the matchup a little bit more to know whether I'm going to head the second line or the first line. But first glance is looking like that second line. Going over the Calgary side, we might as well get ready to teach because we just found the chalkboard, guys. This is going to be the chalkboard that you see in those schools we used to have. So Monahan, Lindholm, Gaudreau in play. I know last game I actually had who did I play last game? I think I might have had the Backlund Frolik line there last game. Can't remember here, but certainly this first line is a fair price for all 3 of those guys. And I wouldn't rule them out. Like I said, it is a high risk when you look at what Islanders goaltending has done. That's how they've really marched themselves to the top of the Metro. So if I do play this line, it's probably not going to be a 3-person stack. It'll be a 2-person pairing rather than that stack. And it might be even looking down here at Sam Bennett and Cesarnik just to draw a little bit of differentiation here. Defensively here, Giordano, 6,500 certainly has been a terrific player. Hamonic, 20 blocks in 5 games. Another attractive stat at 4,400. Like I said, you look, there has been some power play production. And an interesting line play here might be to look and take maybe Matt Tkachuk with Mark Giordano tomorrow. You know, just one forward with a nice productive defenseman as well. That might be the play for me. Another one where I really don't want to take a chance going against the Islanders goaltending here. So I'm not going to head up David Rittich. I'm going to steer clear of that one. And I'm probably going to steer clear of the Islanders goaltending as well. Let me just show you that. It's supposed to be Lehner. So he's 7,200. It's a fair price. 2-1 with a 2.65, 0.907 in his past 5 starts. So, well, it's past 3 starts, looks like. So, I haven't ruled him out yet. I do have some interest in him, but I'm not sure I'm going to go that way.
Man, I really don't like this game. I think this is a trap game. Everybody's going to want to go Calgary, and the Islanders just don't give it up. As far as the Islanders side goes, if I'm interested in anything here, it's probably just a pairing of Barzal and Bailey. Nothing else really. One off of Anders Lee is a possibility, I guess, but it's just not very interesting over here on this side. I don't look for the Islanders to score a ton of goals. Casey Cizikas and Cal Clutterbuck off that 4th line, they're the cats that are scoring right now, so go ahead. You could take a shot there. Johnny Boychuk at 4,100. Ryan Pollock, 5,200 defensively. They're okay plays here. Devin Tays at 3,400. That's all right. I wouldn't talk you off Robin Lehner. He could still have a good game here. New York is just a great defensive team. So Lehner's in play. Not quite certain he gets the win here, but I think he can keep Calgary down to, probably hold them to 3 goals anyway, and see a good bit of shots. Jared, I agree with you on the Gaudreau, Monahan, Lindholm line. It's definitely going to be a chalky line, especially at the price tag they're at right now. 67 for Gaudreau, 6,500 for Monahan, 6,600 for Lindholm. They're extremely cheap and easy to fit in on this slate. The second line of Tkachuk, Backlund, and Frolik is a good line as well. A good way to get a little bit different. And extremely fairly priced there too as well. I played Sam Bennett the other day. Worked out pretty good. So Jankowski, Bennett, and Zarnik off that 3rd line is extremely different. And it's not stupid. It's easily a contrarian play, not a stupid play. You could go to that 3rd line. Defensively, Brody was out the last game. We'll see if he makes it back. Giordano at 6,500. It's pricey, but he's worth it. Travis Hamonic, Noah Hannafin, both those guys are okay. Rasmus Anderson at 2,700 too. I don't mind that as well. I don't want a Calgary goalie here. I'll put it that way. But if it's Riddick, I'll avoid it. If it's Mike Smith, I'll take a shot. Most people are the opposite of me, and they like Riddick. I, however, like Mike Smith. So give me a shot on Mike Smith. Last game on the slate. Boston Bruins heading into Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are going to be a minus 120 home favorite here. 5.5 over-under in this game. Halak is confirmed for Boston, and we should see Marc-Andre Fleury for the Vegas Golden Knights. Jared, what do you like on this last and final game?
What? Well, I think it must just be, that Fleury is the projected starter, really, when it comes down to it, of why Vegas is the 120 favorite. Really, I'm going here, this Boston line. I have to go this way. It's not let me down over the past 3 times I've played it. Marchand, Bergeron, Heinen. These guys have been lights out. Fair price, like you said, maybe even borderline cheap at 7,100, 6,700. Really, it's just their shots are down, compared to what you might see for first liners. I don't even mind taking it. Danton Heinen might have come in a little lower ownership, but I still like him. And if I do run the pair, I can easily see myself adding him in 3rd. Like I said, you go down here to this little sheet here. You got Boston right down here at past 10 games. 7 goals for, 0 goals against, and 5-on-5. So what does that tell you? It just tells me that this Vegas, I would assume it's going to be line 1 going up against them, and they'll try to split their line 2 away from these guys, as I would think that Pierre Stastny and Tuck has been the better offensive line for Vegas. So, like I said, Marchand, Bergeron, Heinen. I don't mind taking a look here, certainly at DeBrusk and Krejci. One might even say they're the better play when you look at stats, but don't let that don't at least let that to be a turn off from this first line. But look at DeBrusk and Krejci. Kind of a little bit hidden for me because I didn't know they were scoring that much, but 4 goals, 5 assists for DeBrusk, and 2 goals, 7 assists for Krejci. 3 power play points. That's huge, guys. And I think if you did do that pair, you would get a little bit away from chalk from the Boston side of things. But for me, I still like line 1. Chara is my defensive guy. I've had luck with him the last 2 times I've played him. I'm going to play him again tomorrow at 3,400. He's a nice little relief, salary relief guy. Usually, lately I've been going usually one, maybe upper 5Ks for a defender and trying to stay around the low 3s. So for the other guy, Chara tends to be a real nice relief there. And but if I weren't playing Chara, Torrey Krug, I still believe to be a good guy on that first power play. 3 power play points in the last 5, certainly in play as well. Like just said, Halak's confirmed 2-0 in his last couple starts with a .48 and a shutout. He's in play. He's in play. Who's out on Boston 2? Yeah, let's take a look at that. Boston 2 has Carson Coleman. So who was there before down here at injuries? Yeah, it must be Cehlarik because Pasternak he's been out for a while. So Peter Cehlarik has been put on injury. We'll have to look at that certainly tomorrow to see if that's long-term or not. Doing here, like I said, for me, if they do match that first line against that first line of Boston, I have no interest here in Vegas 1. It would be down here. I'm telling you, it would probably take a one-off chance on Pacioretty here. 5,400, 2 goals and assists, but 20 shots. The 20 shots is the appealing part for me on Pacioretty, along with, I believe he does get power play time down here. Yeah, second unit power play time. And I think that they are actually splitting their power play units pretty much down the middle rather than first lines might see 1.5 minutes of the power play and the second unit only getting half a minute. So I think these guys try to stay 1-1. But that's my one-off play. I can't see taking a chance more than 1 forward here on Vegas. Joe, I know, was adamant on Peary. He does have 2 goals in past 5 games at 5K. Against Boston, I just don't like him as much. And defensively here, maybe still Nate Schmidt with those stats at 4,900 defensively will be a play. And I wouldn't be opposed to taking a shot on Colin Miller at 3,600 as well. And no Fleury for me.
Alrighty. I like Halak here as well. But I'll keep Fleury in play just the same. Boston side here, I'm with you, Jared. That top line, Marchand, Bergeron, Danton, Heinen, I love that. But I do like the DeBrusk and Krejci pairing as well off that second line. Love that as well. I think it's great. So either one of those top 5 guys I think is awesome. Defensively, Chara, McAvoy, Torrey Krug, they're all 3 fine plays. I'll just let it ride at that, I guess. It's really the top line, Bergeron, Marchand, and Danton Heinen for me. That's where my interest is. Vegas here, I'm certain how much interest I got. I think what we're seeing now is the real Vegas. Just they leveled back out. They're playing exactly how they should be playing for the team that they have built here. I'm not quite the William Karlsson fan that the rest of the industry is, and thinks that that Marchessault, Karlsson, and Riley Smith is a good line. I don't think it is. I think it's a horrible line. Marchessault shoots the puck a ton, as well as Riley Smith, but they don't do shit with it. If you want to play Vegas, play Peary with Stastny and Alex Took. Max Pacioretty off the third line is a one-off. I wouldn't mind that. You could even pair him up with Cody Eakin and Oscar Lindbergh to get way different here and go with that third line from Vegas. Defensively for Vegas, Shea Theodore, Nate Schmidt. That'd be the only place I'd go there, I guess. Colin Miller, possibly. But that's it, guys. That's the 4-game slate. Jared, you want to go back? We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Throw it back a little bit, and we'll do our own little game. Do you remember the game?
Well, I remember last night. What is it? Yeah, it might have been my first day back. I stuttered thinking of the name of it. Wow, it has been a while.
Well, sure. First one up, we'll run out the diamond stack. What do you like for a diamond stack here?
Diamond stack. Looking. For me, I'm going right back to one of the hottest lines in hockey, and I'm going to say Chicago line 2, and that's going to be the DeBrincat, Strome, and Calhoun line.
That's a good line. I already had it wrote down for myself. I tell you what, then. I'll just go ahead and take the line 2 from Calgary, then, which is Matt Tkachuk, Mikael Backlund, and Frolik. What do you like for your snowflaker?
For me tomorrow, let me go with I'll say it's going to be chalk, but I'm going to go Vegas line 1. It's going to be Marchessault, William Karlsson, Riley Smith.
I'll agree with you. I already had it wrote down for myself. Guess since you're going to go there, I'll head over. I'll take line 1 from Detroit.
They were my second option, so I'm going to write them down as well for a warning on my own note.
Bertuzzi, Larkin, and Mantha. How about your Boulder Award? See if we get this one right.
You know what? You know what? This is going to be a little bit, probably come out of nowhere. But for me, I'm going to say David Rittich.
I was going to say if it's Mike Smith, give me Mike Smith. But since you took Rittich, I'll move away from that, I guess. And I'll take the only other one that I think is viable on the slate. Give me Cam Ward.
You know, as reading Kevin's last comment there, Boston 1 or 2 with a Chicago 2 try tomorrow. I might even be apt to go as much all in as I can on this 4-game slate in the line and go Boston 1 and 2. And then, do some price dropping. Like you said, what line did we say? Islanders, for instance. Remember when I typed in the Islanders even strength, it was their most scoring line? Line 4 with Casey Cizikas and stuff. There might be your price savings that you can back it off with.
Yeah, Cizikas and Cal Clutterbuck, I believe it is.
So I mean, there's a couple third and fourth liners that you can get some action out of. Sam Bennett, you played him the other day. Another a guy that you can look for some salary relief with point production.
I do like that combo though with Boston line 1, Chicago line 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's a good lineup.
Yep. And, I keep looking at this line. And when I look at the line, I say, and, I keep seeing Avalanche written. And I'm like, what are my thoughts? Is it popping out at me because it's a warning label? Or is it popping out because it might be the Colorado we've seen start the year off tomorrow? And
I'm not playing Colorado till I see that line do what they were doing.
Yeah, the only one I am seeing is Barry. Like seeing 6 shots or something that he had the other day. That's really it.
I agree with you. Well, with that being said, that's the show, guys. It's a slate breakdown. Good luck to everybody the rest of the night. Good luck to everyone tomorrow. If you haven't already, click that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit us up at DFS Quarry. Join in that Slack channel and talk DFS all day with us. Jared, anything else?
No, sir. Have a good night and drive safe tomorrow.
All right. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you back again tomorrow night.